Yo, are you Paul?
Yeah, hey, how's it
Paul,
going, man?
how's it going?
Hey, pleasure to meet you.
What is this?
Yeah, I know. It's a
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick.
it's a bit
Could this be more amazing?
weird and random, but hey.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Guess what? I have the best thing. I have to interrupt for a second.
Go ahead.
So you have done. Okay, so right now we're in your studio, surrounded by musical equipment. Your recording studio.
Yeah.
What is the worst thing that happens when you start recording, and it's just like, oh fuck, are you kidding me?
The worst. Well, I don't know. I haven't really had any really, really bad experiences, other than maybe.
How about forgetting to hit record?
Oh, nice! Did you forget?
No, like, it was on pause.
Oh, shit.
And then it was just like, shit. So, we're back from the roof, and
Yes.
it's beautiful. Oh, it's recording, which is nice.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful sunset, as you promised.
Yes, I did.
I've had a chicken wing, and it was delish.
Yes, yes.
Very nice, guys. From what is it called?
This
Flagrant
is,
hot sauce.
Yeah, this is a guy from Yardbirds. So,
Very nice.
yeah. It's very light. It's nice. It just tastes delicious.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
So before we do that, let's jump into the photo first.
Well, yeah. When I was going through my photos, I came across this one, which is just little piggies going to the market, I guess. And this, when I saw it, I was like, this will always remind me of when I first moved to Hong Kong.
Okay.
Because on my first day, I was working. Well, I got hired by a school. They put me up in Fortress Hill.
Right.
And on the first day, I just went for a little stroll. And the first thing I saw was a guy walking with half a pig.
Wow. Yeah.
Just like
Sure.
like just a bisection of a pig, just on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Just walking down, going to a market, and it was like, what the hell is that? Like, I mean,
This ain't Nova Scotia.
This ain't Nova Scotia anymore. So, and I mean, I'd lived in Vancouver before that, so I thought I was like, I know big city life, this is fine, but that freaked me out.
Okay.
And this picture is from just down the street from me in Saigon, because we have the wet market down there. And it's pretty graphic, it's pretty horrific looking, but the same hand, I mean, anyone that eats pork, that's what it
is.
That's what it looks like.
That's
There's
what it
where,
is.
like, I mean, and a lot of people, I mean, you walk through a wet market or whatever, and you see all the meat hanging on the walls and everything like that, and people are grossed out by it. But 9 times out of 10, when you go to a restaurant, it's probably going to come from,
Of course,
one of those markets.
So let me describe the photograph. So basically you're shooting into what looks like a truck.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like a refrigerated truck. And there are like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the roof. There are 4 tracks with, I guess, hooks and chains.
Mm-hmm.
And on the right, there are 3 carcasses, and then there's 1 lane, I guess, with 1 pig carcass, and then 1 lane next to it with another pig carcass. And on the ground, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe carcasses as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of entrails or whatever just on hooks
Yeah.
on the left, like, looks like stomachs and kidneys and testicles and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome to Hong Kong,
Welcome
buddy.
to Hong Kong, and it was just like, whoa, what
Yeah.
the hell?
Nice
Like,
and sobering.
and it was just mind blowing. But whenever I see a truck or anything just hanging, really, it does remind me of when I first arrived
Sure.
here. And it's it's something that, I mean, maybe in some parts of Canada you'll see that, but I mean, it's probably in the depths of some
No.
Chinatowns or something like that.
Yeah. Well, here's something that okay. I reach out to you and I say we're gonna meet. We're gonna talk about photographs.
Mhm.
Pick 4 and let's talk about them.
Right.
And you randomly go through your hard drive and you start looking through your photographs.
Right.
And of all the photos that are there, this is the one of them that you sent, right?
Yes.
And so let's filter through your subconscious a little bit.
Mhm.
And why would, other than the fact that it's in focus and it's dramatic and it's full on, it reminded you of coming to Hong Kong.
Mhm.
Let's understand, like, why would your brain say, okay, that's going to be the first one?
Well, like I say, it reminded me of when I first arrived. So I was like, well, let's start off with this and let's get right into it and
Okay.
show like the gruesome kind of sides of, you know, what we eat, I guess.
Sure,
and
sure.
the gruesome sides of like what you may see on the streets of Hong Kong.
Okay.
And just kind of introduce to anyone that kind of hasn't been here, because I'm sure there might be some people that, you know, are not from Hong Kong that are listening to this podcast
Right.
and all that kind of stuff.
Hopefully.
And definitely. But yeah, and just to go like, hey, this might be something that you don't see every day where
No,
you're from, but
for
this
sure.
is something that I'll see this scene almost every week, every
Oh, for
2
sure.
weeks, because yeah, the wet market in Saigon is like I'm one street away from it, so I see all kinds of just nasty things just
Right.
being carted out of these trucks.
Well, I remember, like, you walk by there, and ultimately it's a butcher shop.
Yeah.
And it's, like, people say, yeah, but don't say it. But it's like a butchering,
Yeah,
butcher.
you're
it's like
butchering
you're
animals.
cutting up animals. And
Yeah.
so I can remember walking by and seeing these large sort of woven bamboo baskets filled, like probably a good like 100 pounds or
Mhm.
whatever it is, like
Yeah.
80 or 60 kilos
Yeah.
of just snouts and guts and
Yeah.
like, unfortunately it's a side of.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You want to have some chicken?
Well, that's what I was going to say. And then we got this just in front of us,
Yeah.
a bunch of chicken legs or chicken wings.
So okay, so let's use that as a segue to the chicken wing.
Okay, so let's try this one next. Now, this is the one I said is very surprising. It's Tabasco, but it's a scorpion pepper sauce Tabasco.
Okay,
And
from the-
I remember you from ages ago when you posted this video of just eating a scorpion pepper.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I forget where you were. You were just going
In
through.
I was walking around Saikong, and I found some people who were growing some. I asked them for some, so they gave me a couple or four.
And you ate a whole one.
I
was it?
ate half a scorpion
half a
pepper.
scorpion pepper.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was really impressed because this was like in the depths of me doing hot sauce. Like I did a hot sauce competition here
Right,
one
okay,
time.
okay.
Where, long story short, someone went to the hospital because of basically.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And it was very frightening. But then I
Sure.
saw you do this, and I was like, hey, this guy.
Aren't you
I
sweet?
was like, I gotta beat this guy. Look at this.
Okay.
Now you're here.
And here we are. Here we
and
are.
That was
making
like
history.
2 years.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
So here we are, man.
yeah.
Nice.
Let me. I don't know. Do you want me
Sure,
to
please
do
go
this
ahead.
now?
Just
Okay.
add some. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple. There we go.
There
That's
we
pretty
go.
good. That's nice.
Okay.
I-
I'll grab.
okay.
Yeah. All right. And
Now I'm going to interrupt for a second,
Yeah,
and
sure.
actually we're going to interrupt the eating for me to say. Remember, it wasn't recording before, so what had happened was, remember when I had said, "Oh, what is photography to you?"
Oh right.
It didn't record that.
Okay, so I'll
So
do that
let's just
already.
in the editing, I'll just kind of come back. Let's just.
Okay.
So what does photography mean to you? And you can make it as short or as long as you like.
Okay, cool. Photography to me, I guess it's a skill that I really wish I had. Because I'm one of those guys that has a camera in his pocket on his phone, and I'll take about 10 snaps, like bang, 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 and hope that one of them turns out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, as you see for the rest of my photos. But yeah, no, it's an art, really. I have a couple of good friends that are photographers that they do anything from live gigs to just live on the street kind of thing. Some that work for AFP, some that work for other agencies and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, when you see a good photograph done by a very talented photographer, it's just kind of like when you listen to music and you hear a good song played by good musicians. Yeah, it's definitely an art, and definitely something that I appreciate, but something that I'm not very skilled at.
Paul MacLean. Okay,
Yes.
so this is take 2 on the introduction, because the first time that as the shit happens, it didn't record. So we had actually talked about this amazing studio that we're in. I guess I'll just give the abridged version. I had no idea that I knew that you had a studio, a music studio.
Mhm.
Come up to the 20th floor of Sunset Studios, and open the door, and it's just heaven. It's you got like amps, speakers, microphone stands, audio foam everywhere. You've got like 20 guitars, 2 drum kits, a piano, and a partridge.
Oh yeah, that's actually.
I was kidding. In a
No,
pear
no,
tree.
I don't have a partridge, but I do have this kind of like bird that's done by all recycled bits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You're referring to that. I was like, good eye.
Well, yeah. So here we are. We're at. So it's Sunset Studios because sure enough, on the 20th floor on the roof, you could see the most amazing sunset, which I made. Mm-hmm. I made a photo. I will include it with this episode.
Cool.
And we sort of met each other and earlier around this idea of maybe recording an episode. And then somebody said, oh, yeah, he's a bit of a nut job. Maybe he'll make you eat chilies or his hot sauces.
Yes.
So here we are at the hot sauce.
We're on the second one.
Okay, so now, so here's the second sauce.
Yep.
You said it was a Tabasco. Okay, so it's by Tabasco.
Right.
They don't sell this in Hong Kong, though.
I don't think so. I think it was a friend of mine brought it over from the States.
Scorpion sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it, man.
Try this.
Woo!
It's in lieu of your video.
Thank you very much. Cheers, fella.
Cheers.
So yeah, that's it. The pepper is really bright. It's really citrusy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this sauce, you can hear it in my voice, is very spicy.
Smooth.
Yeah, It's nice. It's quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say though that eating the scorpion pepper gave me such a negative experience that it's like it was so strong that I almost don't like the flavor. This is okay because it's much less intense. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the negative? Was it the day after when everything started coming out?
No, it's fine. No, it was fine. No, the negative was that I ate half and then I got a panic attack where I was
shit.
I'm not going to be good.
Yeah.
Mommy! I want my mommy!
Yeah, well, it was a good friend of mine that was here having this sauce one time, and afterwards he was like, Jude, you should ask people if they have asthma or anything like that, like when you give them some of these sauces, because, he had kind of a moment where he was just like, oh, shit.
Okay.
Like after, you had this one, the 357.
Mad Dog.
Yeah.
So that's the peak of the one we're going to be having.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, this one's actually really good, too, if you haven't had the Inferno.
I'll try it.
This one is, oh, yes, you will.
Okay.
It's kind of like more cinnamony and barbecue sauce.
And since you said cinnamon, let's move to the next photo.
Yeah.
I don't look at the photos until, I see the thumbnail like that, but I don't really look at them. So here it is. It's called Two Buttes.
Yeah.
And it's 2 cats sitting together. One is this beautiful white cat with like a long-haired species.
Yes.
Kind of cross-eyed, but still so beautiful. And right sitting perched on her or his shoulder is a black and white cat. Also looking, what caught their attention?
Actually, I have no idea. This is another one of those, like, snap about 15 shots in a row and then hope that, something comes out. And one of the only reasons why I chose this one is I have a bunch of great individual photos of both cats. And the white one is a ragdoll. That's Haley. And the other one is Little Girl.
Okay.
Both of them are rescues.
Okay.
Little Girl is a street cat that that her name comes from her mom, who I had, because I fostered 2. One was Little Girl and one was Old Girl. Old Girl was the mom.
Yeah, Paul, wait. I record these episodes with different people. And here we come. You're like, you've got the crazy freaking music studio. You played some drums before.
Yep. Yeah.
You make the hot sauce. You're badass with a badass beard. You got the Iron Maiden shirt. You're like,
you.
woo! And it's like, and let me tell you about my cute little buddy tats.
My gosh.
You're such a softie.
I love these guys. The 2 girls.
You're
2
so
girls.
cute.
These are my girls. But yeah, you never ever see them this close together. So I was like, wow, what is this? And it almost looks like they're in love and they get along, but they don't.
Right. Are they both female?
Yeah, both female.
Okay.
Yeah, like I say, Little Girl came along with Old Girl. who I got from another band that I was touring with called the Bolans. They're from New Zealand, and they're back down there now. But one time when they were touring over in Korea, I couldn't make that tour, so they asked me if I could look after their cats. So I was like, yeah, cool. And I had a cat when I was a kid, and I didn't realize that, I had that cat. That was Smokey. I had him for about 11 years, and I didn't have a pet since. And so she died when I was in like first year university, so almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
And and then when the band asked me to look after the cats, I was like, well, I'm not going to go over your house every single day, so why don't you just drop the cats off at my place? So they were gone for about 2 weeks on that tour, and then they came back, and they had another tour, and they had to go back to Korea for another week or so. So I was like, well, instead of like bringing the cats back to yours and then bringing back mine, we'd just leave them here.
Okay.
So they went on that second tour, and they came back, and I just kind of stopped talking to them about the cats.
And they probably they're fine with it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I totally fell in love with cats again. And it was probably a month after they got back that Christian was like, "We're not getting those cats back, are we?" And I was like, "Nah."
That's that's amazing.
So and then after old girl passed away, I was left with little girl for about 2 years by herself, and man, it was like I've never heard a cat meow so sadly.
Yeah,
it was like she was like really lonely,
devastated.
Yeah. So I asked, I got a vet just a block away from me called Acorn. And it's a great place, great owners, great staff, and everything like that. And usually when I was away, I would get one of the receptionists to look after the cats because she was like a block away. So when I said to her, I think I'm finally ready to get another cat, she was like, well, do you want a rag doll? And I had no idea what a rag doll was. And so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I just need a companion for a little girl. So she came to my house with a bag, and she opened up the bag, and this big thing just jumps out, and she's like, there you go. And I'm like, whoa, this is nuts. So, and it was hilarious because the receptionist's name is Haley as well.
Okay.
So I was like, what's the cat's name? She was like, it's Haley. I'm like, really? So I was like, all right, cool, I'll keep the name.
That's funny.
And ever since then, I think little girl was a little bit like, that's not my mom.
Right.
And because Haley's like this long haired, beautiful, like rag doll. And little girl was like short haired. I had always like a skin problem where she was always thinking, so she was lacking a little bit of hair too. So a little bit of jealousy. But yeah, every time I get to hang out with these two, like yesterday I took the day off and I just hung out with these two all day. And we basically just sleep all day.
Okay, you are a weirdo.
I love cats.
Such a weirdo. No. First of all, the studio is incredible. And this is all fixed up with your stuff, right? That you've collected over the years.
Yeah. And people donate it. And, dropped off.
But it's okay. And you have this massive collection, like 50 plus chili sauces.
Yep.
Now so many questions. Okay, so when you go on tour,
yes,
what does that mean?
Well, I mean, just with a band, I mean, sometimes I sit down on bands that aren't kind of bands that I usually play with, and they just ask me to kind of drum for them.
Okay.
So
you're a drummer.
Yeah, I'm a drummer. And basically it's just kind of like learn someone else's songs and hop on tour with them. So basically I've done, it must be about 20, 25 different cities up in China, Korea, Taiwan, Japan, France, Australia, Vietnam.
The things your eyes have seen.
Oh man, yeah, it's kind of crazy actually.
No, well, do tell. Okay, wait. Listen. Okay,
on tour,
have another wing, and we will get there. Okay, what happens on tour stays on tour. What my ass? Come
All
on.
right. Well, this one I actually haven't tried, so we're going to try this one.
Great.
For the first time.
Okay, so grab yourself a wing.
Okay.
Or here you go.
Thank you. Now this one says it's world's hottest chili sauce.
Well, world's hottest chili sauce means we go into the next photograph.
Yep.
If that's anything like Mad Dog, it's probably that was a lot we just put on. Okay,
we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Yeah.
So this one I found where I get a lot of chili sauce because this one here came from Goodies. I don't know if you know that store. It's like kind of like they sell
in Hong Kong.
Yeah, in Hong Kong. It's kind of like a Chinese kind of dried fish, I guess, kind of shop. And they got all kinds of like noodles and this and that in there. But yeah, one day I walked by and I saw that they had some
Okay.
hot sauces.
So this thing here, okay. So first of all, you've got like most hot sauces, they come into glass jars. Only this one's different. It's like a tube, like a plastic tube. What you normally find, like a
Toothpaste.
exfoliant or toothpaste. Yeah, yeah,
Sunscreen.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. It looks a little bit dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna find out.
if I start sounding snotty and coffee,
Yeah. It's not the
it's because of
COVID.
that. It's because things are happening. Shit's going down.
All right. Good luck. Cheers. Okay. Yeah. It initially has a taste of the bomb.
Okay.
A little tiny. I don't know what that.
It's a caramel.
It's definitely not caramel.
Okay.
For me,
Sorry.
maybe it is for you. That might be the wing. The wing's like a honey wing.
It's okay.
But it's not bad.
Not too bad actually.
No. I was a little bit worried when I first had that flavor pop in my mouth. I was like, oh no.
The bomb is just the gross.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yummy.
Yeah.
Okay. So next photo.
That was easy.
I'm just gonna talk through my snot. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine, man.
Okay. So
more.
Jimmy's house.
Yeah, Jimmy's house. So,
Jimmy who? Okay. So in the photograph, wait a second. In the photograph, it looks like it could have been done in Ontario. It's that kind of cold. You're outside. A tree is no leaves on it. Behind that tree is like a red brick house. There's a kind of a very phallic-looking but steeple-capped. I don't know. Maybe that's a. I don't know what that must be. A library of some sort.
Right.
Addition onto the house.
Yep.
You're making what looks like a selfie. I guess you're holding your phone and photographing yourself.
Yes.
And so there's you with these beautiful, slightly plum, let's say plum aviator glasses. You're not wearing a hat, but
No.
it looks like it's pretty cool outside.
It is. It was
Okay.
chilly. Yeah.
Okay, so do tell.
So last year in the middle of COVID, I was kind of, I don't know, very lucky to have traveled all around the world, which is kind of freaky. I was tutoring some kids here, and in February of last year, the kids that I was tutoring were over in Japan. And then when COVID all kicked off, the family was like, well, we're not going to go back to Hong Kong anytime soon. Do you mind coming over to Japan to help the kids with their studies? So I was like, okay, well, I can take some time off the studio and do this, because I knew they had to prepare for some interviews for schools in Oxford and all that kind of stuff. And I knew it was an important time for them. So, yeah, I hopped over to Niseko for 3 weeks, 4 weeks or something like that. And by that time, it was, pushing into March, and everything was really crazy here. And the parents were like, well, we're definitely not going to go back to Hong Kong. We're going to go over to London if you want to come over there next. And I was like, oh,
I was like, sure.
Sure, I'll go to London.
I love these Hong Kong stories. They're just so
Yeah,
bonkers.
it was really, I mean, seriously, I was so grateful for the the whole trip, because it was fantastic. Like, I mean, Niseko is beautiful. I don't know if you've been, but it's like a ski resort area in Hokkaido.
Wow.
But yeah, when we got over to London, we stayed in Notting Hill.
Okay.
It's a very nice area and everything like that. And while I was there, the dad was telling me, he was like, yeah, this is a really cool neighborhood. I used to live here. There's all kind of people that live around here. There's like this person, that person, blah, 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 and Jimmy Page.
Dropping names. Yeah. And
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Page,
And I
all
was
right.
like, what? Jimmy Page lives in this neighborhood? He was like, yeah, it's like right around the corner. And I was like, oh my God, I got to go see Jimmy Page's place.
Right.
For anyone that doesn't know, Jimmy Page is Jenny Page's brother.
Jenny Page being on the podcast a few weeks ago.
He was the guitarist in Led Zeppelin, so I'm a massive John Bonham fan. So I was like, okay, I have to go see this place. So
John Bonham, the rapper.
yeah, John Bonham the rapper,
Okay.
or the drummer from
Right. I'm just joking. Yeah, just assume I'm an idiot. Yes.
So yeah, and it was super cool. I mean, it was a little bit surreal. I was like, okay, wow, this is where he lives, and blah blah blah. And I was a massive fan.
And he's looking out the window going, oh,
Yeah, who's this big hairy guy? So I
Another
I
fan.
tried to see if he was home for jam, but he wasn't in. But the funniest thing is, and I got another picture. I was either gonna give you this one or the other one. The other one shows this one and the neighboring house, and the neighboring house is Robbie Williams' place.
Oh,
And I guess they don't get along.
Okay.
Well, because I think it was Jimmy Page or Robbie Williams. I think it was Robbie Williams Williams wanted to do some renovations.
right.
And do some landscaping, but
Sure.
it was going to screw over bits of Jimmy Page's place, plus all the noise, yada, yada, yada. So they got a pretty big feud. I think there was some lawyers involved and all that kind of stuff. But to get back at Jimmy Page, Robbie Williams would take these big speakers and point them towards Jimmy
No.
Page's place and just blast Black Sabbath songs.
That's
In
hilarious.
the morning, afternoon, all that kind of
What?
stuff. And it was like, what is this? So, yeah, that was last year. And that's
Craziness.
Jimmy
So,
Page's place.
okay, so after England, where did you go?
After that, we went to New York. So we went and we stayed in Hell's Kitchen for a while, and but that was crazy because we landed basically in New York the day that was declared a state of emergency.
Right.
And it was like, shit, what do we do here? And we ended up staying there. We were supposed to stay for longer. I think we lasted about 2 weeks there.
Wow.
And then
So
like,
tutoring, what level? How old?
they were
High school?
No. They were elementary school.
Okay.
So at the time, little dude was 8 years old and
Wow.
the girl was 6.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I
And
hadn't
then-
been
and
I hadn't
then-
been in a classroom in like 12 years.
And
so
you're
it was
like, I'm with the band, but the band is like,
yeah. Oh man, this whole trip was like a rock star
Yeah.
episode because it was flying some really nice flights
Amazing.
and everything and all that kind of stuff, and we even got to fly in a private jet at one point to get it in New York because
Sure.
when we tried to get it in New York we couldn't. It was
Yeah.
just like all the flights were like no,
Wow.
and it was like okay, but we can go to Chicago. And it was probably the most rock star moment in my life. And I've
Yeah.
said this to the dad like lots of times. I'm like, dude, oh my God. That was like one of the best moments of my life. Just
Yeah.
getting on a private jet. And like, it was only maybe an hour and a half flight
Yeah.
to Chicago. But it was just
Still.
like this tiny little G4 kind of thing. And we flew over to Chicago. We got in O'Hare, and O'Hare was nuts.
Yeah.
It was just like people just trying to get
Yeah.
out.
yeah.
And scooted around and then took a flight from Chicago to here. But it was, I mean, it was so intense too because like you got people in hazmat suits everywhere. You got
Wow.
just everyone masked up and like, I mean, we were really,
Amazing.
really clean and everything like that. Like loads of the mom was this beautiful lady who had everything like you can imagine, any kind of sanitizer,
Sure,
any kind of spray,
sure.
any kind of mask, everything all sorted. And,
Please tell me you're walking around with drumsticks in your hand.
I should have. But I mean, one of the funniest moments was at one point, the dad has like a driving company or a car rental company that he usually uses when he goes over to England.
Yeah.
And when they saw me the first time, they were chatting and everything like that, and they were like, "So you're security on this?"
Yeah.
And it was funny because, like, I mean, yeah, I don't look the part of a teacher. I
No,
don't look
not really, not quite.
But well, actually, you missed me in my my Mohawk phase.
Okay.
I had a Mohawk at one
Okay.
time because I used to work at Singapore International, and I mean, Singaporeans are pretty straight-laced
Straight,
people,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the nicest way to say it. but yeah, through that school, like I used to have long hair like this,
Right, right.
and they wanted me to shave my head bald one year for
Okay.
Operation Santa Claus.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not shaving my head bald, but I'll do a Mohawk. I was just joking.
And they're like,
And
okay.
they were like, well, what? No, they had no idea what a Mohawk
No.
was. So they're like, well, what's a Mohawk? And I showed them. They're like, sure, if you can raise money with it.
That's
sure.
awesome.
And so they're like, how much to shave that? And I was just joking. I was like, $75,000.
Okay.
And so, but on the same hand, there was a bunch of other things. Like at 10,000, we would spray a bunch of teachers in the foyer.
Yeah.
At 20,000, we'd pie them in the face. At 40,000, we'd tape a bunch to the wall. And all
Okay,
that kind of
okay,
stuff.
okay.
At 75,000, I would shave my head in front of the whole school.
Okay.
So,
you
thinking
hit
that
it?
this will never ever happen.
Okay, okay.
And in the end, they raised 123,000.
Nice.
I think, and I was like, oh,
Suck
no,
on that,
I
bitch.
cannot get out of this now. And it even gets weirder because he's still in town. It goes by
Why are you pointing to your crotch?
yeah. Not that weird.
Okay,
But Mike Scissorhands, he goes by.
Okay.
He's a guy that basically cuts hands like Edward Scissorhands.
Okay,
he
yeah.
has like
Cuts hair?
yeah.
Right.
And he has like, I don't know, 4 or 8 pairs of scissors on
Okay.
his hands, and he chops hair that way.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of up it and give the kids something to watch.
Okay.
So why not get that guy to do it?
Yeah.
And what I didn't know is on the day that, the whole school's in the gymnasium waiting for this to happen, I go back behind the curtain, and he's there, and he's like, "Oh, hi, this is my makeup artist,"
Uh-huh.
which I'm like, "Why do I need makeup?" And he was like, "Why don't you have a seat? Because we're going to tease your hair out first, so you'll go out."
So it's really big.
So
right,
I got
right.
this massive like afro. I'm like, okay, let's roll with it. I don't care. We got like 15 minutes.
Sure.
Because, Singaporeans got to be on time.
Right,
We
right,
got to
right.
get this done. So, yeah, they tease up my hair, and the makeup artist basically makes me look like the ultimate warrior. Like, puts all this crazy makeup thing.
wow.
It was all for him to get a good video
Sure, of
of like
course.
this crazy scene. So, yeah, and then 3, 2, 1 goes, and he has this super loud rock music that he starts playing over
Yeah.
the speakers, which has never been played in the school before.
Okay.
And I walk out, and I'm like looking crazy.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
like my hair's all out. I got makeup all over my face, and it's a mix of emotions from the whole school. Because in the front you got your kindergarten kids, and all
Yeah.
the way in the back you would have the grade 6s, and it was like a wave of emotion going from the front where kids were bawling their eyes out because
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
no
yeah.
idea what's going on. Teachers freaking out trying to get them going. It's just Mr. MacLean. It's just Mr. MacLean. All the way to the back where the middle part was they were confused. They
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
what was
of
going
course.
on, but they could hold their tears in. And the back, the grade 6s were just losing their mind. They're like,
Amazing.
this is crazy.
Amazing.
And then he goes nuts and gets my hair all kind of whatever, and just flops over to the side.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thank you," and he walks off, and I'm like, "Ah,
I don't want to comb over.
okay." And I just kind of like walk off stage, and like it was a mess. I had to go to my buddy Dave, who I was playing in the band with. I went over to his place afterwards, and I was like, "Dude, can you do anything?" And he just like, because it was teased out, it was all knotted.
Oh, okay.
So he just like grabbed it and just like chopped
Right,
away,
right,
and then I
right,
went to another guy and got it done properly. And I had that mohawk for like 5 years.
Okay,
Because
wow.
I would use it as an incentive in class where
Okay.
when it came time for a test, I would
Ah.
like, hey, if like 8 or 10 of you can get 100, I'll shave my mohawk again. Because whenever it kind of flopped over, all the kids would be
Okay.
like, bring back Mr. Chicken.
Right.
And I'd be like, you want it back? But it was
you're
good because
you're
I
a
was,
sweetheart.
it was fun. But I was good because I was playing in this 2-piece band that was doing touring and everything like that, and going around with a big beard and a big mohawk kind
Amazing.
of fit the part on stage, not necessarily in the class, but it worked.
Well, it worked. Okay, let's make it work one more step.
Okay.
Kaboosh.
Kaboosh. So I'm interested if we should go down one of the other routes. I'm thinking we do this one. This is Mad Dog Inferno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mad Dog Inferno.
Yeah. So this one.
So I had pointed out that I had a bottle of Mad Dog that's it's been in my fridge for over 2 years now. Because I eat it, and what I do is I bring it to my meetings.
Oh.
And a couple of dabs of that gets everybody talking and coughing and having. So it's great when we have these lunch meetings. Yeah.
I don't know if we did record the part where I was saying about the hot sauce competition that sent someone to the hospital.
Right.
This was on the list of these ones. And this one, I think, is one of the best tasting hot sauces out there.
Okay.
Initially.
Yeah. You got me. You got me. You got me. I was like, okay. And you're like, initially.
So, but
boom.
do you have your wing?
Yeah, no, here we go. Yeah.
Here you go. I'll let you.
You're going to let me dab it?
Well, I'll give you your dab.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Be gentle,
I'll be gentle.
mama.
But this
Whoa.
one, you'll be fine.
Nice, I'll be
You'll
fine.
Be fine.
Nice. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I love it.
it. So this,
No, it smells great.
I know, and it has this like barbecue.
You're
I
such a
don't know how to
Canadian. Barbecue.
Cute.
Get in the car, Barb.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where everything basically starts falling apart.
Yeah.
Right? Like right now, it's
It
probably
will.
sounding like a mess, but okay, off we go to the
All
races.
right.
Okay, so I want to describe. You're holding the chicken wing up.
Yeah.
It's the sauce is a super dark, rich brown,
Yeah.
creamy caramel. Very
Yep.
nice. And then as we're doing this, I'm going to look at this photograph.
Okay.
It's basically, I think it's the fourth photograph. Did we breeze to the
This
other?
is the fourth photograph. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've gone
amazing.
through all
So,
4.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
That tastes really good. It basically tastes like HP sauce.
Yep. Yeah. Good call. Never thought of that.
HP sauce with kick. There we go. There's the Mad Dog. Oh, that's a slow. Nice.
All right.
I am eating the whole chicken wing at the moment.
So,
Well, as Bonham said, that's really nice. That's really, really nice.
really nice.
That's really nice. That's nice. Very nice. All right.
I love how you say nice, nice, nice. And this one takes about a minute to get.
Yeah, because it kicks in, and then you're like, you're right. It is. You're right.
Yeah.
The
This
bitch.
was my first introduction to like a slow burn.
Yep, this is definitely a slow burn.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the photo, it's in a bar that looks like a bar in, is it the Wench? No.
That is a wench. Yeah,
Wench?
that's a wench, which is now gone at the moment.
Gone.
It's got it. It didn't last through COVID, so
Oh, okay, closed.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Going in for more drink.
Yeah, it's cooking.
Yeah. So this was the very first place I ever played in Hong Kong, and I think with a lot of people, and it was like
Who's this?
that's Pierre Million.
Million.
Yeah,
1 million Pierres.
Yeah, that's my French friend who is now back in France. I miss that guy. That's a band I play in called Ballychunder, which still plays in town.
Jenny talked about Bali
Yes,
Chunder.
yeah. So I drum in that. She plays the fiddle. But yeah, Pierre used to be the guitarist, and he was like the founding member. And then there was a bass player called Marcus Steffen, who now lives over in Germany. I'm pretty sure it's Germany and works in Poland.
Okay.
But he's German. But yeah, both of those guys have left the band. We continued with another couple of different players, but we haven't actually played in a long time. We're supposed to get together for a jam soon.
Oh, nice.
Because we got a gig coming up in September.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this is kind of. I mean, my hand makes a cameo appearance.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the photograph, let's describe it.
Yeah.
Okay, so behind. Okay, my mouth is on fire. So the out of focus background is a bar with framed images and T-shirts and stuff, like a music place, a music bar, I guess.
Yep.
The singer, who's in mid-song, is looking over at the photographer. He's looking basically he's looking straight at you, and he's like in mid-ground. And in the out-of-focus foreground, unless you pointed it out, I wouldn't have noticed, but is basically... Were you making the photo?
No, I have no idea who took this photo, to be honest.
So it's basically of your hand. Now we know it's your hand. There's a drum kit you can just see. And so it's a really dramatic, in-the-moment shot of a band playing. Do you remember the song?
Oh, gosh, no. I mean, I rarely know the names of songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just a drummer.
I'm just a drummer. And you can actually see Jenny in that picture, too. She's on the far right-hand side. You can kind of see her bow.
Hair.
Yeah, you can see the bow above her head there.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, that band was that was a force to be reckoned with. Back in the day, we got one tour, and we played one show down in Cambodia, which was awesome. Oh, it was great. Okay,
so explain to me how you guys got to Cambodia to do a show.
I think
Who paid?
For this particular show. It's a funny story. We actually did pay to go down and play ourselves because like these two guys were leaving the band, and we're like, well, we never really. Oh no, we played Shenzhen one time, which was an experience in itself. But yeah, to go down to Cambodia, we had to pay for our flights, and then they paid down there. They paid for the accommodations, and then they gave us food and booze.
The way you said accommodation made it sound like it wasn't really.
Well, it was
okay.
It was okay. I mean, I slept on like what was like a hospital bed, like in a
Okay.
kind of just a pullout, and I shared a room with Marcus, which is fine. But I do remember we got paid $100 American,
Yeah.
which the promoter or organizer or whatever gave me at the end of the night.
Okay.
And which I gave to Marcus because Marcus was going to the States. I was
Right.
like, well, dude, you might as well take this because none
Yeah, exactly.
of us can use this in Hong Kong. And he sends me a picture from the States while he's down in the States going, hey, man, that $100 he gave me was a fake dollar bill. Which I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, check it out. It looks like Monopoly money. Because when I was passed it was folded up.
You probably weren't looking.
And I was just like, yeah, thanks, man. Wicked. And then I gave it to Marcus. And then Marcus, when he went to pay for something down the States, they were like, sir, this is fake money.
But I got it in Cambodia.
Exactly, right?
Show.
Your Honor.
Please name a song title. No, you don't know. You don't do song titles. Okay, the set that you did, how long was it?
Down in Cambodia, it was probably about an hour. Oh, wow. I think.
How large was the audience?
I have no idea. Probably that place was only about 50 people. It was a small pub that we played in.
Okay.
But it was a rowdy bunch of people. It was supposed to be, we were supposed to play 2 or 3 shows. And then the second place we were supposed to play, we were waiting to play, and then the power went out.
Okay.
Which was kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And I think a third show, there was another thing that just it didn't happen. So, yeah, there was a bunch of like, okay, this is what it's like in Cambodia. Maybe everything's kind of falling apart. Everything's like, what the hell is going on?
But you could say you played in Cambodia and talk about it years later.
And it was great. And there was a delicious beef salad that we had there.
For sure. Well, the food in Cambodia is amazing.
Oh, man. Yeah, totally.
Oh, the food is amazing. Because I said food is amazing, let's have another chicken wing.
Yes, okay. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to step it up. Okay. So that Inferno is not too bad.
So Inferno is okay. Yeah, it's quite delish. Yeah. And it is, you're right, very slow to kick you in the face.
Okay, this next one, you can get this at City Super.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the Dave's, I think it's Costa Rica.
Hey, no free pub for City Shitty Super.
I know,
They don't sponsor me, bitches.
Those bastards. Yeah, but they do have delicious hot sauce.
They do.
So
next to the Japanese matcha.
Yes,
powder.
yes.
My tongue is not feeling that way good. That's great.
This is the Dave's Ghost Pepper.
Okay.
Which, I mean, Ghost Pepper is in itself delicious. Okay.
That's what my teacher said. Perfect.
Go.
Yeah, you put a very, I wouldn't say you didn't overdo it.
Yeah.
But it's certainly enough to cause a bit of havoc.
Yeah. That's nice.
And I'd like to apologize to the listener for listening to us.
Sniffle.
Sniffle away.
Snot all over your microphones.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I love it.
Okay.
Paul the Insane Man.
This
Woo!
is great, man.
Okay, cheers.
All right, cheers.
Shooting it raw.
Here we go.
This is nice. It's very nice. It's like a habanero.
Yeah.
Very bright.
Yeah.
Is this one of those slow ones that's going to hurt me? Because right now it's okay. It's nice.
Well, like any ghost, it'll come back to haunt you.
Oh, ooh, I love it.
But yeah, it's a little slow burner as well.
So, you're touring. Let's give it a number.
Okay.
In your life, how many times have you toured?
Oh, I have no idea.
Give it a number. 100?
Like places I've played?
No, tours.
Oh, tours. Oh, definitely not 100. I'm going to say a dozen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Each one of them would have like multiple shows on each one. But yeah. And I only started when I was over here.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one was with, I was in a 2-piece stoner rock band called DP.
Okay.
That was the one that played South by Southwest. And
right.
Played over in Vietnam, Australia, and England, and all that kind of stuff. And that was really easy because it was just touring with one other guy. So, yeah. I mean, sometimes we had to share a room, and he didn't really like it because apparently I snore.
Okay.
Which I've never heard.
Yeah. Me either. I haven't heard you snore. It's bullshit. Okay. My tongue is a fire.
There got a tongue.
There
Yeah, after I stopped teaching, I was home in Canada, and I got contacted by a guy named Jewel who played in Dr. Eggs, or he is Dr. Eggs. And he asked me if, he was like, I got some shows coming up in Japan, Taiwan, and France. Would you be interested in playing on the tour? So I was like, one of the main things after I stopped teaching, I was going to go like 100% into music and play as much as possible. And this was one of the, things I was looking to do. And I was like, sure. But he was like, well, I play to a lot of samples, which means like it's already pre-recorded. So you're going to have to play to a click. And I was like drumming for a long time at that point. And I was like, easy.
No,
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
Not. Oh my god. I gotta give him props because if it wasn't for him, I would never know how to play to a click. It's a skill in itself, and that's one thing when I'm like recording here. One of the first things I'll ask the drummer is like, "Do you want to record to a click?" Because one, that makes editing a lot easier, and two, everything kind of keeps to the tempo. It doesn't speed up, doesn't slow down, and you get some guys that are like, "Yeah, automatically, yes, play to a click," and they can play to click, and then you get the ones going. Yeah, I could probably play to a click, and right there, I'm kind of like,
right.
It's probably gonna really delay us.
I'm gonna need
I'm gonna get you more water. You know what I'm saying?
It is really tasty. My mouth's on fire. This tongue is on fire.
It's yours, all of it. Yeah. So, anyways, I was saying, I went on tour with Jewel for a while, and. Yeah, that was just fantastic because it was my first experience in playing with a click and having to kind of really hone in on my tempo skills. And then, there's a band from New York called French Horn Rebellion. We're kind of like a DJ duo that wanted some live drums. So, we went over to Korea and Taiwan and just a Hong Kong show. And then the Bolins.
Okay, rapid fire question, quick.
Yep.
Craziest thing ever happened on tour? What's the craziest thing?
In Morioka, up in Japan, up in Sendai province, we got stopped by the cops for being a little bit too rowdy, let's say, after a gig. And it was my first time that I realized, like, in Japan, streets are really quiet.
Okay.
Like at nighttime.
Right.
And so we had finished this gig.
And you're super amped up, and you're like, woo!
Yeah. There was a fair amount of soju and all that, or sake and everything involved as well. But we were after the gig, hooting and hollering and everything like that. And basically,
I can see a tear down your face.
I
you're holding up really well. You know,
I don't want to touch my face.
On the audio, I'm sure you don't sound like you're melting down. But I can see tears, man.
I'm the one talking. You're just chugging cold
I'm just
water.
I'm just watching. Yeah, you do the work.
But I don't know if it's the craziest thing that's happened on tour. But basically, we left after screaming and hollering and everything like that, and we went down into a grocery store. And while we were in the grocery store looking for food after the gig, the promoter came over and he goes, "You guys stay in here. The cops are outside. They're looking for us."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, jeez.
What?
Here we go." So we were in this grocery store for about 30 minutes. Like, we'd see the cops walk in, and we're like, "Shit, go down this alley. Go down there. Can't go to jail. We can't go to jail."
That's
and
too
then,
funny.
basically, they just waited at the exit, and one by one we all went out, and they searched the whole car. They searched all of us. They, took all our IDs and everything like that. And we're like, "Oh, we're going to jail."
But did you go to jail?
We didn't.
No, okay.
No, but it was like, okay, this could have ended up really bad. And one of the craziest things about that tour is that we got back here afterwards. We arrived on Wednesday here, and on the Friday is when they had the Fukushima tsunami and earthquake. But craziest thing was, if our tour schedule was 1 week later, on the Friday we actually would have been up in Sendai in Morioka, and that it was gone.
Amazing.
And we just missed it by a week.
Wow.
And it was just really like, wow, like that's some crazy universal shit there looking out for us. And just
you know what, I'm gonna stick that in your eye because we're gonna have another chicken.
Okay. Yep. Are we going Mad Dog now?
Well, look, we've done them.
That's the last one?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I know Mad Dog, so in a way, I know
you gotta know.
I know it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But no surprises. That's the thing.
That's fine.
But you know what? It's evil. It's also
it's crazy, man. Like
it really is.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that competition I had here.
Okay.
Yeah, very quickly, I had a competition where I threw it at the bands going, basically, if you can get through 5 levels of hot sauce, I'll record your band for free. And what they had to do is, like, I had the camera crew here to do like a before and after. So they had to do a 5-song set.
Yeah.
And then they had to do the same 5-song set.
Okay.
But before the second time, they had to do tortilla chip with hot sauce on it.
Okay.
And I wasn't being as gentle as
Yeah.
I am here. And basically it started off with one called Ass Blasters, which is this habanero one, which just like slaps you in the face right away. And then it went on and on and on. Like the last one was Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I had the bomb in there. That was
wow.
beforehand. This one here,
Yeah,
the
nice.
Inferno. And then I had like the first band come in. They did their 5 songs, and then they did the 5 hot sauce ones. And I was like didn't seem like it phased them at all. Like they were like struggling a bit and everything like that. But if one of your band members dropped out, my deal was null and void.
Yeah.
But these guys went bang, bang, done. And I was like, oh shit, I got 12 bands signed up for this thing. I'm going to have to do 12 free recordings. And so the second band gets up. Well, the first band was Ball of Snakes.
Okay.
They were like amazing band.
I love these names.
Oh yeah. Second band was Tango and Snatch. So Tango and Snatch get up, and they do their 5 songs, and about the second level of hot sauce, a girl that was here, she came into the room and she was like, "Hey Paul, there's a bit of an emergency outside," and I was thinking, okay, it must be the cops because it's loud, it's raucous here, it's smelling of everything, and I was like, okay, I go outside, there's no cops. What's the emergency? She's on the phone, and she's like points over, and I just look over, and the drummer from Ball of Snakes, Rocky, is screaming in pain. He's like wailing, he's crying, he's like in a puddle of puke. Shit! Just like barfed everywhere, and he can't stop throwing up.
Wow!
And he's just like violently like gagging and everything like that. And I'm like, oh my god, I think I might have killed someone. So I'm there. At one point, I'm like waving him down with a piece of plywood. He's like, just can't. He's like, the girl is on the phone with the paramedics.
Wow.
He's like screaming he needs to go to the hospital. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't really think this was going to happen. And what ended up, he is one of the guys I knew before I had this idea of a hot sauce competition that introduced me to the place to pick up the hot sauce, because he was a hot sauce aficionado. And I was like, wow, I thought you could take your hot sauce. And he's like, well, I had a stomach bug, blah, 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 blah. And I then learned that, kind of to get rid of hot sauce, there's a couple of ways, or to get rid of spice in your mouth, there's a couple of ways. Like some people say milk, dairy, anything like that. And he heard that dairy was one. So he ate like a half a tub of ice cream.
Oh, no.
The other thing that he heard was straight alcohol. So he drank like a half a bottle of whiskey.
So there we go. There we go.
And the funniest part was when he had to call his now wife at the time, who already told him before he came to the competition, do not
call me.
Don't go. You're not allowed to go. Like, don't go. You're already sick. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to hate this.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, I'm going to the hospital. And then it was just like, rah! A lot of yelling from the other end. And I could just see him going like, I know you said so. I know. And then, luckily, well, not luckily, but fortunately, it did take the paramedics about 30 minutes to get here.
Okay.
They were coming from Montauk or something.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, like, Queen
Just
Mary is
just
like around the corner.
Yeah.
And by the time they arrived, he was fine.
Right.
He just needed to get everything out of his system.
Sure.
And he still was like, well, there's an ambulance here. I might as well go to the hospital just in case. And so when the paramedics asked, well, what caused this? They brought down the 357. They said this. And all the paramedics just lost it. They laughed their ass off. Lapped you, John. Just loving it. And I don't have the photo. I wish I did, and I want to use it as a promo because I never ever did another hot sauce competition. I just stopped it.
Sure.
It's him in the back of the ambulance.
Okay.
Going.
Awesome.
Just like with his thumbs up. And I know it exists because someone told me about it.
That's great.
It would just be fantastic. But yeah, I didn't do it after that because I really thought I broke someone.
Right. Well, since you said laughed our asses off,
yes,
let's do it. Have our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mad Dog.
Cheers.
257. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay.
There
Good.
Go.
Why is your hand shaking?
Yeah.
It's really tasty.
Hit the back of my throat right away.
Oh, it sucks though. It sucks, but it's not like the bomb. But it's just so strong. It's really strong. This may be the best episode. I say this each time, but I love this. God damn it, Mama!
All right. For those listening, though, don't go the milk route. Don't take dairy. Don't go straight alcohol. The best thing, ice. Put a chunk of ice in your mouth.
Really?
Yeah. When that melts, put another one in. I mean, ice just numbs it.
Okay.
And you just suck on ice until the spice is gone. This stuff, I find it lasts for about 10, 15 minutes.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, you know it. But I've had so many bands come in and they're like, yeah, we love hot sauce. Let's do it. And some that...
Little do they know.
Oh, my God. One guy in particular. Guy in Ballychunder. New guy, Paul.
Yeah.
Another Paul. He he doesn't do spice at all. He's from England. And we were all here, me and Murray and all the other guys, just like necking on hot sauce. Loving it and everything like that. And then Paul just took a chicken wing and of all, there's probably about a dozen sauces there. He just pours like a generous amount. And I saw Jenny like look over and go like, oh my God.
Not good.
He just ate it. And as you know with this, it takes about a minute to kick in. And I was like, oh, which one did you go for? And he lifted up one bottle. I forget what it was. And I was like, oh, that'll be fine. And he was like, oh, wait, no, it wasn't that. It was this one. And he held up 357. I was like, you don't do spice at all? He was like, no. I was like, 1 sec, I'll get you a beer. And like,
you're going to enter a world of pain.
I'm
in a world of pain right now.
He had a religious experience, I swear. He was just like, my God, what is going on with my face? So, yeah. But yeah, to 357.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, I had a New Year's party here 2 years ago.
People are going to notice I'm not talking because I'm fucked.
I'm just trying to kill the dead air here. But, yeah, my birthday's on December 31st, so I usually have a New Year's party and get, like, lots of musicians and all that kind of stuff to come over to the studio. I have bash. And the last one was 2 years ago when we were still allowed to get in groups and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning when there was about 8 people left. And I was like, all right, I'm getting tired. I got to get home. You know, I'd like to be home by 5 or 6.
Party with some hot sauce.
Yeah. Well, the hot sauce was going the whole party. And I was like, okay, everyone that's left has to do some of this. And the only thing was, I had been doing hot sauce all night.
Right.
And I probably had this about 6 or 7 times.
Oh,
and
wow.
I did manage to squeeze a picture. It was on my Instagram of the people that were left, and everyone was kind of dying. But I had never had this feeling before. It was like there was a knife jabbed in the side of my side.
Right.
In the side of my side. I can't even speak. We're gonna do a selfie.
I'm fucked. Okay. Fuck.
But yeah, I basically I didn't know what to do. I felt like I had like a sword in my side. I actually had to go up onto the rooftop and like take my shirt off and like lie on the cold concrete for like half hour. It was just like everything just kicked in, and
Right.
but yeah, there's loads of bands that come in and they're like, yeah, I can do hot sauce, and then they regret it.
Right, for sure.
But it's always a great experience.
No, for sure. It's
Because after you come down, it's
yeah,
like a crazy
it's a whole
drug or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
all the endorphins for sure.
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
How you doing over there?
Hurting unit. I'm hurt. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Really?
I'm used to this stuff. I do this on a regular basis.
I mean, I'll eat the stuff,
Yeah.
but I won't dab it. And that was for me, that was a pretty generous dab.
Oh yeah,
To be
okay.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Shooting it raw. Shooting it raw. Paul, thank you. Thank you, Paul.
That was great.
Woo!
Cheers.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.